Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Jacob Licklider, and I just finished watching about 30 minutes ago the third episode of Series 10 of Doctor Who, Thin Ice. This episode was probably the one that I was looking forward to, one of the ones that I was looking forward to more than others, because it's written by Sarah Dollard, who wrote Face the Raven last year. No, 2 years ago now. Face the Raven in Series 9 was one of the better episodes of the series, and gave a great exit for Clara, which would be ruined and hell bent. So Dollard kind of had a bit of a standard already built up in my mind, but I was ready to realize that maybe it was just a fluke, and perhaps Thin Ice is going to be bad. I'm going to start with talking about the title. Thin Ice is just a bad title for this episode, plainly because Big Finish already has the audio drama Thin Ice, which is sure, it makes sense here, but it makes a bit more sense there because allegorical tensions for the Cold War, and that just sort of works. I much prefer the title for this one, Beneath the Thames, which that's what the story deals with, this creature beneath the Thames, and it's like the first thing that strikes you is just Peter Capaldi and Pearl Mackie playing the Doctor and Bill investigating like these weird lights under the Thames in 1814, and it's really good. That's one thing that I really like. One thing that I also don't have an opinion on really is, I don't know, Capaldi's line, history is whitewashed, which is just sort of, no, it's not. Human history has a lot of horrible stuff in it to deal with racism. That is one thing that I think we should notice, that human history has not always been the best. And even the Doctor acknowledges it when he punches the racist guy in the face who is like, "Oh, Bill, you better stand up," which is like, yeah, no, the guy's awful and a racist, and he was the villain, so yeah. He'd already been responsible for several children's deaths, so I condone punching him. But I don't like the idea that we need to revise history. I get it, diversity quotas, you need the diversity because you'll be fined or pulled off the air because blah, 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 diversity, my diversity. I hate it. But yeah, it just sort of annoyed me a little bit that, so much focus was put on, oh, there's that one line, history is a whitewash. That's not true. But yeah, that's a little minor nitpick. It really doesn't affect the enjoyment of the entire episode too much. I just want to pad out this runtime of this reaction, because, my problem is, there's a lot, each of the episodes has really had a lot of 45-minute syndrome, like, by the ending of this one also lets it down. It doesn't let it down nearly as much as the Emoji Planet, because it is a nice ending where they break the chains, and which is supposed to be an allegory for slavery, I guess, which I can see, I actually can see it more of an allegory of, you've got to stop letting other people control you, and if you have a problem in your life, you have to take it in. You take it into your own hands and sort of deal with it. Think about your problem. That's just sort of the allegory of like freeing yourself. So not necessarily racial slavery, but just sort of slavery to your own flaws, which is interestingly brought up a lot because you have Bill and the Doctor sort of questioning the Doctor's morals, which was really interesting to listen to. Pearl Mackie does a great job with the material she's given. I think Bill might be my favorite New Who companion, and I mean, it's only been 3 episodes, but Pearl Mackie just sells the character, and she just really feels like a breath of fresh air, and her chemistry with Peter Capaldi is much better than Jenna Coleman's ever was. Like, I find them just, there's this great student-teacher dynamic, and I really like it. It's really good. I have to say, like, I like how the Doctor, even though being the alien's like, yeah, no, well, let's just, oh, yeah, slavery, well, just stick to me and you'll be fine, which, is true, but first go get changed because, well, you're in 18th century London, and this is the BBC. We need to have these beautiful historical costumes. Seriously, can the Doctor's outfit in this one just be his outfit for the rest of the series? I would love it. It's an amazing. I just love the coat. It's a really good coat. And I love the blue. I like Capaldi in blue, I think, but then I like him in red, which is weird because red's my favorite color. Yeah, I just happen to like him better when it comes to him being in blue. So yeah, that's a bit interesting to think about. Let's see, the direction. This was Bill Anderson directing the story, and he's not as good as Lawrence Goff. I think we were spoiled with Lawrence Goff, but he's a good director. He's not. It's not like a bad director like Ed Bazalgette. He does a good job. Some of the one of the transitions was a bit off when it's like, oh, we need to censor a curse word, so we'll just sort of have Bill say the first syllable and cut, which, it was a bit awkward. And I mean, he doesn't do too well with the sets, and I think the underwater scene's a bit hokey, which I think is down to the direction. But other than that, it's a pretty decent direction. Again, you have the 45-minute syndrome, but the story of the sea creature and just the lights and, a guy using a workhouse and a bunch of children to get people to the frost fair and then eating people. Like, there's a point where one of the kids gets pulled under the ice and you just see their hand holding the sonic screwdriver, and it's genuinely sort of this creepy sort of scene that I like the way that it looks. It looks really good. But this is probably one that won't go down as one of the classics, because again, it does a lot of the same things as The Beast Below does. I mean, it has similar moral arguments. They're different enough. So it's definitely better than The Beast Below. It's just not perfect. I'm not quite sure what I want to give it. I don't know. I mean, the supporting characters are really dull. Like, Capaldi and the Doctor and Bill are really good. It's just the supporting characters, except I think the little black girl. Her name is like Dot. The rest of the rest of them are just all the urchins are, and the villain is a stereotypical villain, which is okay, fine. We can have an over the top silly villain. I don't mind. It just doesn't do much for me with the amount of stuff that they're trying to do in the episode. But I definitely do want to see Sarah Dollar write again, because she's written some pretty decent stories. I mean, this is definitely good. I mean, I hope we get some better quality stories, something to blow us away with, but even if this is the level that we're going to stay at, it'll be probably one of the best seasons of New Who in quite a while. Probably since season 5, series 5, I mean. But yeah, that's really all I have to say on the matter. I think if I'm going to have to... Oh, well, no, but I want to say the ending scene, I don't think you necessarily needed them arriving back on Earth. I mean, that's fine, I guess, but it's just, I don't know. I kind of like Nardol's little scene in the vault, before the vault, to be sort of remind us of the mystery box. It also gives us the reveal that there is someone in there. People are saying, oh, it's probably the Master, which, knowing Moffat, it probably is. Let's be honest. The mystery reveal was so easy, and then the hybrid reveal wasn't a reveal, so I'm guessing it's going to be the Master. But anyway, so I think I give this episode tentatively a 7 out of 10. It's definitely the best episode of Series 10 so far. It just doesn't do too much in the way of specialty to make me really remember too much of it. Though next week should be interesting. I mean, Woodlice, a creepy old house, David Suchet. Well, I'll see you then.